solid wood furniture store.
Okay, welcome back. Just take a look at Mazgaon Dock. Oh boy, I mean, and by the way, the move was materialized in the last 3-4 minutes, by the way. It was at 6:20 or so. It's moved up to 6:40. $20 in the last 4 minutes, basically. And it's up another 7.5%.
And 30% this week.
30% this week.
So just pull up the 1-week chart as well of Mazgaon Docks.
I mean, so it's all adding up to that 130% for the year so far. So it's just incredible. But this breakout happened, and not very far back. I mean, just what, 4-5 days ago. Actually, this week has been the bulk of the breakout. It was around this 460 kind of levels for a while, and then it's just kind of shot out on decent, meaningful volumes as well. We'll come to Deepan on this in just a bit, but we had Arvind Sanger with us earlier, managing partner at Geosphere Capital Management, who's been cautious all through the last year or so. These are his views on the market and the IT services space as well. Listen in.
In US dollar terms, the market has rallied about 7.5% off its lows. So it's had a nice move, but it's not a huge move. I think it's range bound, in my opinion, between the dollar weakness and the market volatility. I would say that we are, trying to pick individual names when they get interesting, because I do believe that India is one of the better placed economies in the world. I think the West is quite likely headed to a recession in 23, and therefore, not to be too early on the India bull story, but not get bared up. This is not, India is going to be, in my opinion, one of the better economic stories in 23. So other markets that are more oversold may rebound better. But I think India, if I take a 2 to 3 year view, has one of the best economic stories in global developed and emerging markets. Therefore, I think with a patient mindset, there are going to be good opportunities in India. The US markets have rebounded, the dollar has weakened, and there's a lot of factors that have driven, there are a lot of macro factors at play. My view is that IT services is obviously a bit of a global growth play, right, from a demand standpoint, and therefore they have sold off. I think they have sold off well in advance. They will bottom well before the Western economies bottom.
View from Arvind Sanger there. Deepan, I was pointing out this move in Mazgaon. I mean, it's just incredible, isn't it? Any thoughts?
Yeah, I think defense is the new defense play. And since there's so much uncertainty and volatility in the market, clearly investors like the visibility which these defense, especially PSU defense companies, are projecting at this point of time. They're sitting on 3 to 15-year type of order book position. And with this whole entire trend towards Atmanirbhar as far as defense spending is concerned, I think these are great times for these PSU defense companies, and you can pick and choose. But by and large, I think next 3-4 years, their earnings are pretty much set. And it's just a matter of executing. And as and when they execute, they will get better operating leverages as well. And it's not that the order flow has stopped coming in. If you look at most of the defense companies and compare the order inflow for the quarter versus what they've actually billed, it's pretty much comforting at almost 1:1 or 0.8:1. So very positive on these companies. And we will have a situation where the PEs also should move up because of the earnings certainty which is there. The only fly in the ointment could be some changes on government policy side in terms of what margins these companies can enjoy. But that's true for any PSU or any company doing business with the government. But that notwithstanding, I think these are great times for PSU defense companies, and one could certainly have them in their portfolio.
Okay. I mean, execution, of course, has to come, but the prices are moving up very, very sharply. Deepan, it's a pleasure. Thank you very much for joining us this Friday, and have a good weekend. We'll see you back soon. Thank you. Well, the market, by the way, is going to end in an absolutely listless kind of way. 13-14 point change down. That's it. And this is exactly what we were talking about in the morning. It's wait and watch. And I think the market was just waiting and watching, at least on the index level. By the way, the small cap index ends slightly higher. I mean, 0.25%. The mid cap index ends down 0.25%. So again, there are no big conclusions to be drawn one way or the other. Market breadth positive. So 1,200 odd stocks higher, 970 stocks lower. in terms of trade today. Let me just identify a few larger names before we look at broader markets, mid-caps. So Titan, of course, the undisputed gainer, the big one, 5.5 higher. Power Grid, 1.5. Grasim, IndusInd Bank, and ONGC. Actually, there were just, 4 or 5 names with gains of more than 1%. The big one was Titan. On the downside, Tata Consumer, BPCL, and Mahindra were the 1.5 odd percent in that zone, losers. So not very much going on in the index. But broader markets, I mean, lots of action on both sides, Rima.
Absolutely. And the index per se managed to trim its losses to a fair bit. At one point of time, the mid-cap index was down close to about 0.9%. By the end of it, the knock on it is just about 0.25%. So let's quickly run you through some of the big movers. Mazgaon Docks tops the price as well as the volume charts, up 7% today, 30% for the week itself. Ujjivan Small Finance Bank, where the numbers look good, stock is higher by 5.5%. Zomato made a big move, particularly in the last 1 hour. Stock surging to a 6% rally. You also had strength coming through in Kalyan Jewellers. Titan numbers look good as well as Kalyan Jewellers numbers look good. Strength in Phoenix Mills as well. On the losing side, Barrick Engineering, where the deal value has been cut, the street is disappointed. Jubilant Foods under pressure, and even Godrej Consumer, a stock which was under pressure yesterday, has lost another 3%. Nigel?
Well, that's right. Just to highlight a few more names, Jubilant Foodworks, as you said, was under some pressure. Godrej Consumer, second day of selling, and a few others in the broader markets. You had Dredging that was flying away. Himmat Singha, well, that stock did very, very well. Max Ventures was another stock that popped up in trade. Everest Kanto as well. That stock, in fact, did come to life towards the end. And India Nippon as well. Well, that stock as well did pretty well. So fair bit of traction from the broader markets. Good to see a bit of a recovery from the low point of the day. The bulls will feel that they've gone in with a bit of a fight. There's a big data point coming in later today. That's the jobs data from the United States. For the time being, a good recovery from the lows, both on the Nifty Bank, and from the broader markets. Well, you had a couple of stocks that were really moving to their own tune itself. Well, on that note, though, we'll wrap up on this edition of Closing Bell. But you stay with us. Friday special. Sonia is standing by to run us through another special edition of Smart Money.
Powered by LIC.